physical chemistry delves into scientific and material aspects, spiritual chemistry unfolds as a sacred art concerned with inner metamorphosis. It is the principle that personal transformation is the key to an alchemist's journey to transmutation. As a result of this internal change, the alchemist's pursuit of higher understanding is aligned with their ambition to become better individuals. Historically, many alchemists were driven by profound religious beliefs, dedicating their efforts to social improvement and personal growth. As we venture further into the labyrinthine depths of esoteric alchemy, the journey of transformation takes center stage, guided by the profound understanding that the alchemical process is a reflection of both the macrocosm and the microcosm. At its heart lies the ancient principle of as above, so below, which encapsulates the idea that the processes occurring in the material world mirror those within the inner realm of the alchemist. The core of esoteric alchemy rests in the transmutation of man, an essential pursuit represented through various cultural symbols and beliefs. Alchemists from diverse corners of the world approach this concept differently, employing distinct symbols to convey the significance of self-transmutation. The elixir of life, often symbolized as the philosopher's stone, becomes the catalyst through which an individual's transformation unfolds. Purification emerges as the foundational step in the transformative process, resonating with the idea of removing impurities to uncover the inherent essence of a substance. Just as a scientist seeks pristine materials for their experiments, they must first embark on the path of personal purification. This purification extends beyond the physical realm, delving deep into the emotional and mental dimensions of the self. Much like refining raw materials to their purest state, inner purification entails shedding the dross and limitations that hinder spiritual growth. In the alchemist's journey, this translates into shedding harmful attitudes, negative emotions, and self-imposed restrictions. Through this inner alchemy, the individual gains access to a more refined state of being, an essential prerequisite for engaging in deeper spiritual experiences. Alchemy and inner purification have striking parallels. Just as metals go through rigorous procedures to rid themselves of impurities, individuals strive to achieve the same internally. By eliminating psychological and emotional impurities that cloud the authentic self, one paves the way for profound understanding and a stronger link with higher truths. This process of inner purification is not only symbolic, but also practical. By freeing oneself from emotional burdens and mental clutter, the individual creates space for clarity and heightened awareness. As a result of this purified state of being, the individual is better able to navigate life's challenges with greater equanimity and clarity. Purification of the inner self is a philosophy that resonates across numerous spiritual traditions, not just alchemy. It echoes the notion of cleansing the soul, a concept found in religions and philosophies throughout history. From a psychological standpoint, inner purification aligns with the principles of self-awareness and personal growth, highlighting the importance of introspection and conscious transformation. Paulo Coelho once said, "The alchemists spent years in their laboratories, observing the fire that purified the metals. They spent so much time close to the fire that gradually they gave up the vanities of the world. They discovered that the purification of the metals had led to a purification of themselves." In this context, the seeker becomes a symbolic representation of the individual's journey towards self-realization. The alchemical process is a mirror that reflects the ongoing struggle and triumph of human consciousness. It is a reminder that just as metals are refined through fire, individuals undergo challenges and trials to shed their limitations and discover their authentic selves. At the heart of this exploration lies the concept of digestion as a form of transmutation. This notion, while symbolic, draws a fascinating parallel between the alchemical process and the assimilation of nutrients within the human body. In both cases, Substances undergo processes of transformation, adapting to fulfill distinct purposes. The alchemists knew that nourishing the physical body would nurture the mind, emotions, and even the soul. Within the alchemical laboratory of the self, friction emerges as a concept of profound significance. Alchemists aim to alleviate the wear and tear, both physical and mental, that arises from the daily struggles of life. By cultivating control over mental, emotional, and physical activities, they sought to conserve vital energy and extend the span of vitality. In addition to preserving energy physically, this preserved energy was also felt in the realms of mental and emotional well-being, fostering harmony and balance. Central to this discourse is the concept of the aortic or magnetic field, a dynamic sphere in which the human experience unfolds. According to the alchemists, this field is like a container that contains emotions, thoughts, and bodily functions of individuals. This magnetic field, constantly shifting and evolving, is intricately influenced by attitudes and emotions. If emotions, thoughts, or bodily functions are misused, the resources of the magnetic field are depleted, resulting in exhaustion and ultimately a diminishment of vitality. Delving deeper, we encounter the intriguing analogy between the alchemical laboratory and the internal world of the individual. Just as alchemists sought pure materials for their experiments, they recognized the necessity of purifying the self to embark on the journey of self-transformation. In this way, alchemists aim to remove the impurities and limitations that restrain personal development by removing the dross within themselves. Just as pure materials are a prerequisite for successful alchemical experiments, an inner state of purity is fundamental for embarking on the alchemical journey within. Confusion is central to this exploration, which results from a lack of clarity and direction. Alchemists recognize the detrimental effects of confusion on an individual's well-being. Accepting confusion could lead to a state of ignorance and waste of energy, detracting from the pursuit of personal and spiritual growth. In contrast, alchemists advocated for finding peace and quietude, elements often intrinsic to practices such as meditation and self-reflection. Attitudes and emotions, often described as the driving forces behind human actions, hold the potential for both constructive and destructive outcomes. In the alchemical context, these energies are akin to raw materials, waiting to be harnessed and refined. Transmuting these energies was one of the greatest achievements of alchemy, as its mastery led to spiritual growth and inner harmony. The notion of emotional energy is a force that, when mishandled, has the potential to result in inner discord and the squandering of life's essential vigor. Alchemists noted a connection between the misapplication of emotional energy and a psychological transgression akin to a war crime. This mishandling, if unchecked, might give rise to inner turmoil, a lack of progress, and the inability to fully recognize one's inherent capabilities. The alchemical journey encompasses the process of relaxing the emotional content of one's life, a process that aligns with the principles of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. By relaxing the grip of intense emotions, individuals can learn to channel these energies in more constructive and harmonious ways. As emotional attitudes evolve, they align with the alchemical goal of inner transformation, rooted in emotional balance and personal growth. Furthermore, the interplay of emotions is intricately linked to the three basic levels of the human personality: the emotional, mental, and physical. These levels, when harmonized, create a state of equilibrium conducive to personal growth and self-mastery. Alchemists recognize the importance of aligning these levels, recognizing that harmony within oneself extends to harmony within the larger world. The evolution of attitudes and emotions also finds resonance in the concept of confusion. Confusion can hinder personal growth and spiritual advancement. To harness emotional energies constructively, alchemists advocated transcending confusion in order to find inner peace and clarity. This practice even resonates with the age-old notion of finding serenity in the midst of chaos. Manly Hall did state the following once: "It is not by destroying the lower nature that man becomes virtuous. It is by the transmutation and regeneration of every base quality and attitude that he achieves divinity." As we peer into the heart of this exploration, we discover that the alchemical process mirrors the evolution of human attitudes and emotions. The alchemist becomes a symbol of the individual's quest for emotional balance and spiritual growth, a journey marked by the transmutation of discordant energies into harmonious forces. A similar journey can be seen as an alchemical experiment in which raw materials reveal their true essence through rigorous processes. Cultivating the power of the soul stands as a pinnacle of esoteric alchemical wisdom. This entails honing intuition and embracing mystical experiences to gain insight into the hidden dimensions of reality. By comprehending the psychic bodies of physical entities, alchemists grasp the principles of sublimation, wherein spiritual growth becomes attainable. As the journey progresses, individuals delve into the heart of alchemy, a connection with the universal plan of existence. Alchemy reveals itself as a path toward outgrowing limitations and embracing growth, not for self-serving gains, but as an essential contribution to the collective good. The alchemical endeavor leads to a richer understanding of oneself, the cosmos, and the eternal dance of transformation that encompasses both.